Hi YouTube family, back with another video. Excuse my appearance. I know I look like I'm ready to go work out, but I'm not. I just look like I am. I just want to jump on here real quick and give you guys an update on what's going on with the Fed workers. I know you've seen it in the news. I don't know if it's in the mainstream news, but it's all over social media. You know what they're trying to do. They're trying to cut the benefits, the retirement benefits for the federal workers. I think they got a couple of bills that they're trying to pass. I think it's in the, what do you call it? Don't get me wrong on my social studies, but I think it's in the Senate, and then it has to go to the House, and then it goes to the president to be signed into law. But they've got a couple of proposals out there, quite a few of them actually. But the main ones, and I think I've talked to you all about this before. The main ones is that, of course, they're trying to cut back on the pension because the court supposedly is going to save the federal government all this money, which is not. They're trying to cut back on the pensions. They are normally when you retire, they base your pension off of the last 3 years of your salary. So if the last 3 years of your salary was really, really high, that's more beneficial for you. Now they're going back to the last 5 years, which is going to give you a lower pension, of course. Not beneficial for you. Also, they are trying to make the older employees that have been in for a while, like myself, we don't contribute as much as the newer employees. We contribute, I think it's 0.0 or 0.8% towards our pension, and they want to increase that to 4.4% across the board for everybody. And of course, that's going to save so-called billions of dollars, which is not going to put a dent into the trillion-dollar, multi-trillion-dollar deficit that the United States has racked up. And one of the other main things they're trying to do that's on the table is they're going to cut out the annuity. Currently, if you're at the minimum age of retirement, which is 57, and for most people, not everybody, but for most people, and then under the age of 62, currently you were able to collect a supplemental income. It was called an annuity, and they would add that to your pension, which would give you a little bit more until you were eligible for Social Security at 62, which is the minimum age for most people, and then it would get deleted. So now the proposal is to do away with that. Like, you're not going to get anything. You're just going to get your pension, and that's it. Okay. So that's what's on the table. I don't know if it's going to pass. It probably will. I don't know. But I say all that to say, folks, we got to make decisions. I've had to, make some hard decisions. I've come to the conclusion that I'm ready to go based on a number of reasons. Also, I want to mention, if you guys are military, any type of military service, not retired military, but let's say you were military, you did any amount of years, but you just didn't retire, 2 years, 3 years, however many, but you didn't retire. And I'm not sure if you guys know this, but you're also eligible to buy back that military time, and that can count towards your pension as well, which would also increase it a little bit. I'm currently in that process myself. I don't know why I didn't do it a long time ago. I just didn't think I would have to. But in order for me to become eligible for any type of VERA, which is a early retirement, I would have to do that, because otherwise I have to wait 2 years to become eligible for regular retirement. And I don't think I'm going to make it 2 years at this pace. My mental health, I just don't think I'm going to be there. So I'm in the process of doing that. It's a very long, drawn out process, a lot of paperwork, a lot of bureaucracy. I've been going back and forth with the DFAS folks. Those are the ones that you have to submit. There's all kinds of forms you got to submit. This is the federal government, of course. There's all types of forms you got to submit. I did my due diligence. I submitted my form back in March. I still haven't gotten, they were supposed to give you, it's called a summary of military deposit form, something to that effect. I don't know the exact title, but it's basically a form that shows how much you paid or how much you income you received when you were active duty, when you were military, and then they do like some type of summary and they mail that out to you. Yes, I said mail, regular mail, y'all. They put that in the mail, they mail it out to you, you get the form, and then you have to send it off to your benefits and entitlement team, along with some other forms, your DD 214. There's just other form you have to fill out. It's like 3 or 4 forms you have to fill out, and you send that as a package to your benefits and entitlements team. They do some type of calculation, and then what they do is they let you know how much money you're going to have to pay to buy back, what they call buy back your military time, so that you can use that towards your retirement. So that's the stage I'm in. It's been a long drawn out process. I submitted the paperwork in March. I called the people. I think the beginning of April. They claimed they put it in the mail. I'm waiting every day. Here it is, May, y'all. Still haven't gotten it. I'm waiting every day, calling every day, calling weekly, sometimes twice a week, bugging them. Oh, it's in the mail. Wait, it's in the mail. It takes, what is it, 14, what is it? They tell me 10 to 15 or 10 to 14 business days. That does not include the weekend, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, y'all, you told me, can you tell me when it's mailed out? Oh, we can't tell you it was mailed out. It was processed April, I think if they told me April 8th, it was processed. So when was it mailed out? Oh, we don't know. But you're going to get it. Okay. If you can't tell me when it was mailed out, you're not going to, so you can't tell me how long it's going to take and when am I going to get it? Nope, we can't tell you that. So I'm getting pissed and more pissed by the minute, right? So I'm calling weekly. It's in the mail. Just wait. Call us next week. It's in the mail. Call us if you don't get it. I'm like, can't you all just email it? That was my question. I'm like, just email it. I can't wait on snail mail. Oh, we can't email it because we can't see it. Well, if you can't see it and I haven't gotten it, shouldn't that be telling you something? Something's wrong. If you can't see it, I haven't gotten it, where is it? That means to me it wasn't done, right? So I keep calling. Called them last week. Still haven't gotten it, right? They told me to wait until last week to call them back and they would look into it. So I call them. Oh, yeah. We see here that what we had a glitch in the system, and between such and such date and such date, those forms they were not processed. I said, so all this time, you mean to tell me I'm calling y'all and so basically y'all lying to me. No, ma'am, that's not what we're saying. We only found this out 2 days ago. Okay, so why didn't you notify the folks and tell us what was going on, process the crap, and put it in the mail? And so she told me that there was a glitch. Okay, there's a glitch. Where is my form? Did you process it? Did you mail it out? Let me look into my system. I don't see where, it's okay, so if you know it was a glitch, why didn't you guys just expedite the process? Mail it to the people. Mail it to me. So they still hadn't done it, y'all. They still hadn't processed it. So I'm gonna send the email to my lead, and then make sure it gets processed, and we get it to you in the mail as soon as possible. So here I am waiting again. How long would that take? Oh, you should get it pretty quick. Oh, it takes 10 to 14 business days again. So here we going on month number 2, waiting on this. I said, why can't y'all just email it? Oh, because it hasn't been processed and we can't see. I said, that's what y'all told me last time. Oh, well, I said, well, can't you, once this process, once you guys mail it, can't you email it at the same time that you put it in the mail? How hard is it? Well, the folks that do it, they don't have access to email. I'm like, you guys are killing me. So this is what I've been dealing with. I'm like, you are killing me. So why can't you put a note to say, please email it and please mail it so that I can get it? Okay, well, there's no guarantee, but I'll go ahead. Whew, y'all. Anyway, that's what I'm dealing with, okay? So I'm waiting on that. Meanwhile, the VERA, I've passed the deadline for the VERA again. I think they've offered the VERA twice now with what they call the DRP, the Deferred Resignation Program. They've offered it twice. I've missed out both times because I'm waiting on paperwork. Because without this paperwork, I'm not eligible to retire early, even to retire early, because I don't have the years and I don't have the age. I'm shy 1 year in both. I'm shy 1 year in the number, the length of service that you have to serve, and the age. You have to have the minimum to retire early. You have to have 20 years of service, if you guys didn't know. And well, no, I meet the age requirement. I think the minimum age is 50, so I meet that. I just don't have the length of time. I don't have the 20 years. It would be next year. So if they still offer it, if the beer is still on the table, I think I'm going to go for it. If I ever get this other paperwork so that I can get my military time and all this stuff. Otherwise, I don't think I'm going to survive 2 years going like this. Because we can't even move around. We can't go to another department. We can't do anything, y'all. We're stuck. And I might could stick it out if I had a different supervisor and a different leader. And I did a video. I don't think I've released it yet. I might release it before this one about leadership. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And where I'm at is pretty bad. Now, I'm not saying leadership is bad in the all, of course, all the federal government, because I had some really good leadership from my previous job. I told you all about that in another video. Those guys are awesome. It's just that the work was burning and stressing me out. I got tired of the work. I had been doing it for 19 years. I wanted to do something different. I'm doing something different, and I like what I do. The work is I don't want to say escape, but the work is it's not as complex as what I was doing previously. It's a lot more simpler and it's easier for me. So I enjoy the work. I just do not like our supervision at all. I just don't like them. It's nothing personal against them. I'm sure they're great people, but they're not good leaders. They have no business being leaders. They have no business being anybody's supervisor. And I'm gonna just say it. They suck. They suck as leaders and supervisors. So if I was able to move out from under them and go somewhere else, I might, would be able to stick it out a little bit, if I'm allowed to stick it out a little bit longer. But at this rate, I'm not. I just don't see that happening. And the reason I say is because I already did another video. I talked about the appraisals, how they did us. They gave the whole team pretty much mediocre appraisals. Basically, we're mediocre employees. Everybody had the same complaint. We did things above and beyond. I volunteered. A lot of them volunteered to do overtime. We even have interns that QC other people's work. That's out of they're learning, and then they're QCing other people's work. That's above and beyond of what they're supposed to do. But yet we have a leader that says that's your regular job. So you can't get a exceptional, that you exceed your standards because that's a part of your job. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. That's bullshit. That's not a part of that person's job because they're going above and beyond. And then when I volunteer, you didn't make me, but when I volunteer, when you asked, I said, yes, I will work overtime. That's going above and beyond to get the whole team caught up. To me, that's going above and beyond. Leave me a comment and tell me, am I crazy? Am I wrong? That's going above and beyond my normal duties. And to me, that should warrant an exceptional marking in that area. So they just doing us wrong. They're just wrong, and they're just wrong. And I hate it. I hate it for all of us that that we're going through this. It's awful. And they have the nerve. And I'm gonna let you guys go, but I had to tell you another quick little story. They have the nerve. Okay, guidance have come down. You all know we can't telework anymore at all, but guidance has come down where we can situational telework. Okay, so basically that means when certain things come up, you can telework, right? And other supervisors, they have no problem granting situational telework. Let's say if you're sick or, you're going through something or you need, a doctor's appointment and things like that. Most supervisors, they don't have an issue, with that. We have trainings because, because there's a hiring freeze, we're not as busy as we once were. So they're signing us up for all these different types of trainings and things like that. They signed me up for one recently. I didn't ask to go to it. And it was a training that's like really, really basic level, like 101 when you're a new employee type of training. And I didn't complain about it. I mean, the training is stuff that I've been doing for 19 years. So I didn't really need it. But if they sign me up, I'm like, cool, I'll do it. And I knew that this situational telework thing was on the table. So I just asked, I put in an email, hey, Are we able, and I said, are we able to, telework for this training, at home? Because it was like a week long and the hours were all funky. It was like they're having us work 9:30 to 5 o'clock. Who wants to go in the office 9:30 and then work till 5:30? I know there's some people out there that do, but I'm not used to that. I'm used to coming in very, very early and I leave late. So, I mean, I leave early. So I do my 8 hours, but I'm not used to that type of schedule. So, and don't call me spoiled, but I hope it doesn't sound spoiled. But I just didn't want to work those hours. Okay. And so I had asked, hey, so they ignored me. I put my boss on it and then I put her boss on it. And they ignored me, y'all. 2-3 weeks gone by, didn't hear nothing. So I follow up and say, hey, haven't heard back from you on this. What's the situation? Can we, telework for this? Then my boss's boss going to come back and say, well, you're the only one, because it was 15 people in this class. I don't know who they were, just 15. I know one other person in my office was in it with me. And he comes back and says, well, you're the only one who's asked to telework. And if I let you do it, I have to let everyone do it. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, back up. I'm like, I'm doing this in reply. I didn't say that in my reply. But my reply to him was, I said, I did not ask. And I put in quotation mark, I said, I specifically preference my question with the word we, quote unquote. I put the we in quotations. I said, I did not ask, and I did not put, quote unquote, the letter I. I said, I would never do that for something like this. Why would I be asking for myself? Isn't that imply when you say we, hey, we have this training, can we get telework for this? What part of that do you not understand? I don't know. But that was my reply to him. He never replied back, of course. A week went by, he never replied back. So I did another reply. I said, well, since we can't telework, I said, just take me out of this class. I can't do it, right? No reply. So, okay. So what I did is I contacted the people who put on the training and I told them to take me out of the class. I'm like, I'm not going. So if there is any flack, anything come up, I'm gonna say, hey, I asked to be taken out of the class by you. You didn't respond. So I assumed it was okay for me not to go because I'm not going. So that's that. But that's just another example of how much of a butthole they are. And it just makes no sense because the other people, and I say that, and I put this in my request when I asked them in the first place, could we telework? Other people and other teams are able to do it. They're able, their bosses let them telework when they have trainings and things like that. Because what's the harm? The whole team is virtual. They never see me. They have never seen me in person for the whole 2 years I've been working for them. So what's the big deal? I don't get it. Our time is accounted for. We're going to be in class. There is an instructor. So what do you think? We're goofing off? No, we're in class all day for 8 hours. So whatever. Anyway, I'm just over it, y'all. I'm just over it. It's just, I'm tired and I'm just frustrated and I'm just ready to go. I hope, and this is kind of a rant, but I hope this video did help you guys and I hope you did find some value in it. It's just, I know everybody's got to make their own decisions and when it's time for you to go. And I've heard people, some of the older heads used to tell me that, I said, how do you know when you're ready to retire? They're like, and I know I'm to that point. I'm just ready to go. I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to do something different. I can't retire, like go to the house, but I can find something different to do because this ain't it. This is not living. I just feel like I'm in prison. I feel like I'm in a halfway house. I feel like I go off to prison every day. And then, I get to come home with an ankle bracelet on. I mean, really, that's how I feel. It's awful. And nobody should feel that way. And I hope you all don't feel that way. I hope you don't loathe and hate your job as much as I do. But I know there's a lot of people out there that do. So just hang in there. There is a silver lining at the end. And we will get through it. So I hope you all found this valuable. Again, do your research on those proposals and things that they have out there. If you are a federal worker, just keep that in the back of your mind when you're making your decision. If you're at a point to where in your career where you can retire, there's just something to keep in mind. A little food for thought, so that this is what our future is going to look like. All right, you guys, I've held on to you long enough. I appreciate you watching me. I appreciate you listening and subscribing. And please like and subscribe this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.